I'm sure we all can remember the first time we had churros. It was either at some random state fair, your favorite Americanized Mexican restaurant, or somewhere in between. Churros are nationally regarded as the perfect Spanish-derived dessert, and although some people say it's Mexican and others say it's Spanish, I just say it's downright delicious. When done right, churros are sweet, airy, crispy, and most importantly, good. So let's grab our taste buds and prepare our sweet tooth as we jump right into the video. Churros are or need to be three things to be amazing. That's lightly fried, sweet, and soft when bitten into. To a sauce pot, Dutch oven, or whatever you have that can hold sauce, you want to add in 1 whole stick of butter. At this point, we're going to add in 1 cup of milk and give this a generous stir. The milk should be the one full of fat, not that skim 2% bullshit milk. Once your buttery, milky concoction has been thoroughly combined, we want to add in our white seasonings, which is simply put just salt and sugar. To the milk, you want to add in 1 teaspoon of salt and then 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. I actually messed around and tried the same method with brown sugar, and I found that the white is the best because the molasses in the brown sugar interferes just lightly with the dough. Give this a huge mix just to make sure everything is incorporated, and then we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And yes, as you guessed, give this one big mix. Once mixed, bring to a high heat and let boil, but don't let it boil for too long. Once there, add in 1 cup of all-purpose flour and mix this in until it's a dough form. Although it may look like we're done, we're not done just yet. Our last step is to add in 3 eggs and 1 egg yolk and let this mix in. And this is our last time mixing the dough, so we're almost done. Combining the eggs should take 1 to 2 minutes, and once at that creamy, soft, smooth consistency, set it aside so we can work on our favorite elements of churros and that sweetness and sauce. Churros are known globally for their classic coating, and it's widely been regarded as the best way to incorporate sweetness into any dish. And that coating is cinnamon and sugar. And it's as simple as ever to make. To a bowl, you want to add in half a cup of sugar and 3 to 4 tablespoons of cinnamon and give this a big mix. And that's literally it. That's the coating. I would love to be the one to tell y'all it's more science or ingredients behind the mixture, but at its core, this is quite literally it. Grab your bowl, set it to the side, and let the coating take a back seat, because next up is my favorite part of churros, and that's the dipping sauce. To a sauce pot or Dutch oven or whatever you have that can hold liquid, bring it to a high heat, and you want to add in 3 to 4 cups of water and bring this to a medium high heat. And no, the water isn't for the chocolate. It's the only way to bring the chocolate from a solid form to a liquid form without burning it. The more you know. Once at temperature, you want to add in a bowl to the top of the pot and add in your chocolate bar from earlier. Once added in, it should take no more than 2 to 3 minutes for our chocolate bar to go from a solid to a liquid, and this is our chocolate sauce. Traditionally, this is more of an espresso dark chocolate sauce because we want to keep things simple. A simple chocolate bar is fine for this. The chocolate should melt on its own easily without much help, but stirring occasionally can help as well. Optional, but I like to add in a tad bit of sweetened condensed milk to my chocolate as well, which can bring a tad bit more flavor out of the chocolate. Although this sauce is amazing, what if we had an option to really branch away from the norm and create a dipping sauce that was not only refreshing but added more depth of flavor to our churros? What if that sauce was fruity, fresh, and colorful? And what if that sauce would really have us questioning, is chocolate the only thing churros need to be dipped in? Well, that sauce is a strawberry dipping sauce or a strawberry puree. To start, you want to slice and dice a pack of freshly washed and ripe strawberries and place these in a bowl. Once there, take a half a cup of sugar and place these in. Toss these together, mix them up by hand, or stir them until the sugar becomes one with the strawberries. Now, let these sit for at least 1 hour. The reason we're letting these sit for 1 hour is because the sugar will pull out any excess water from the fruit and just leave the sweet strawberry flavor that we know and love from a good strawberry puree. This means we will get a much riper flavor from our puree. After the hour, you want to bring in a pot to a medium heat and let these render down until softened, which should take no more than 5 to 6 minutes. While they're rendering down, make sure to stir often so they don't burn. Once rendered, take a hand blender and beat the strawberries until they have come to a semi-chunky consistency. It should still show small pieces of strawberry and not be the consistency of milk. You want to have these pieces still in there. Once at the desired consistency, add in 1 part cornstarch and 1 part water and give this a mix. The addition of cornstarch makes sure the puree isn't runny and cuts down on the time we would need to reduce the puree. And don't worry, you won't taste the cornstarch at all. Now that both our sauces are completed, it's time to work on our star of the show. And that is our churros. Grab your dough mixture from earlier and we want to add it to a piping bag with a star tip. The star tip is what gives our churros that rigid outside that we also love so much. If you don't have a piping bag or star tip, you can just use a sandwich bag and cut the corner of it to resemble a star tip. Get creative with it however you want to do it, but If you don't have a piping bag and a start tip, I promise you, a sandwich bag can work just fine. Once added in, bring a pot of neutral oil to a high heat. Start by squeezing our churros into the oil and cutting them with scissors or kitchen shears. They need to be about 3 to 4 inches in length when being cut. It should only take 3 to 4 minutes to fry them completely, and while they're doing so, make sure to flip them constantly so they can cook evenly. You should see your churros bubbling in the oil, really gaining that crispy outside and changing into that perfect golden brown dark color. Continue frying the dough until we have about 7 to 10 churros, and right as they're coming off, you want to make sure that we're going to add our texture. And we gain that texture by tossing them in our cinnamon and sugar mixture from earlier. As the churros are coming out of the oil, you want to make sure they are being tossed while they are still hot. This will not only make sure the cinnamon and sugar stick, but they seep into our crispy exterior as they begin to dry. And as easy as ever, we have made our perfect churros all from scratch and from the comfort of your own home. The sweet and fried dough is paired perfectly with our sauces and really is the perfect mouth-watering experience. Until next time, I hope you enjoy your dessert from Chase Andy. Click the subscribe button in the menu below and click to my right in about 5 seconds for many more dishes you really will enjoy.